And hello, movie lovers. And I just want to say it is a privilege to be able to be doing this for 4 years. And what better way to celebrate the 4 year anniversary than bring on some guests that I had in the past? And also, too, some guests that are going to be featured on here later on sometime, some other people I'm going to be networking with, and some other people that people are going to be getting to know. So, with further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's get on with the show. I'm excited to have everyone here. I have Christopher here. I have Heidi here. I have Crichton Hobbs here. I have my co-host Alex here. I also have the Western Wonder himself over here as well. And Jamie in the front row is going to be joining me. We also have Don that's going to be joining me, and Jason. So it's going to be a packed house, so I can't wait to do this. So let's go on ahead. Let's get on with it. And hey, guys.
Hola. Buenas.
Hello.
Buenos dias. How's everybody?
Happy birthday, Movie Lovers Unite.
Gotta have the party hats on, gotta have some drinks, you know?
I forgot to grab. I have a party hat somewhere. I for sure do. I don't know where it is, though. I should have grabbed it.
Yes, you should have, but it's okay.
Don't fire me, please.
But you know,
no booze tonight. I brought a little cocaine, but no booze.
The bear.
But guys, I just want to say it's a privilege to be able to do this for 4 years. I remember starting out in my car in 90 to 100-degree weather, doing this show at night, and also too during the daytime, drinking water in my car, and just doing what I love doing, which is talking about movies, reviewing TV shows, networking with other people. I also grew a lot of love for a lot of the people that I network with, and also grew friendships with the people that that I'm friends with now. Crichton was actually one of my first interviews that I've ever done. As a matter of fact, he's actually been on several of my shows besides doing interviews and stuff like that. But he's been a really good friend of mine. And you know, I remember in the Mississippi group, right, Crichton? I believe that's how we reached out to each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. At that time, I was making a movie that I eventually shelved. So, I mean, but I was your first your first interview with someone who was like a director and stuff like that. So, but I do remember that because, just to tell a little tale about it, I remember that you was very nervous about it. I mean, you was like, look, this is my very first interview, Crichton. I'm going to send you questions and stuff like that. And I remember, and I read over the questions. I was like, dude, you're a natural with this, about, just the way it was lined out. And I remember that. And then I remember after that, like, your future guests that you had, like, because I saw you grow, like from where you was at, being in a car with no AC in the middle of, hell, Mississippi night weather, sweating and stuff, to where you've grown now. To it's just it's amazing. And hey, I'm glad I was your first interview.
It was a privilege to have you as my first interview. And a matter of fact, I remember sweating bullets, not just because it was hot, but because I was nervous about it being my first interview. And it was also audio only podcast as well. So I was just starting off fresh. I didn't know anything about editing. I didn't know anything about that stuff. So the older interviews will actually be like uncut interviews that I didn't even try to even do anything with. I would just go ahead, record, and then upload. So that was before I discovered how to actually do it over the past 2 years and everything of editing, and then also learning some new things. And then, of course, the rest is history. But then, I remember meeting Alex, though. You were actually in a group, I believe, right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
And you were friends with somebody, and I saw you comment, and I think that I seen one of your videos.
Yeah. It was. I think it was with my homeboy Derek Fleek on Trailer Recuts, which I loved. I loved his stuff, and commented on one, and then you reached out to me commented on one of my videos like, "Hey, let's do a collab," and I'm like, "Who is this guy?" Okay, and then we talked that one time, and it just had a great time, great conversation. We just clicked, and so grateful to have met you, and you just have such a welcoming, warm personality. It's easy for people to talk to you because you're so friendly and compassionate about what you do.
Thank you.
So, like one of my closest YouTube friends, for sure. And, just an honor.
It's an honor to have you as my co-host and my friend now, too.
Yeah.
My thing was this. I always wanted to ask you this, and I never got a chance to, and I'm not doing interviews, but my thing was this. Whenever I first asked you to be my co-host, what was your first instant thought? Was like, what the hell am I doing? Or what was your first initial thought?
Oh, can I live up to this? It's just that it's an awesome opportunity to be a part of something, and just being around other people with the same passions, the same likes as you, just something for us all to connect on, even though we have like different opinions varying on what like movies or shows that we like and genres and whatnot. But it's just all where we all have it. What we all have in common is our love of cinema, of television, of storytelling, as so
Right.
just being able to connect with you on that and just be a part of this group where that's literally all we do is just sit and talk about it, which is ideal for me. I was like, oh heck yeah, dream come true. Be a part of a group where I can just talk about movies. Yeah.
Right. Because here's the thing with me though, was like I used to do like the 5 to 10 minute reviews and stuff like that. And I still do some spoiler reviews here and there. But I think 5 to 10 minutes is too short. I like to run my mouth. I like to actually, and I was like, yeah, we know you like to run your mouth. But I think that there's movies that you can talk about that can be fleshed out in an hour-long episode and geek out over things with friends. Because I don't ever want it to feel like, oh, I'm basically doing from a script, which is why I don't do scripts or anything like that either. I like it to be fresh and fun, and to be where it's like a water cooler conversation, basically, of what you think about certain scenes, your favorite moments in the certain scenes, and I'm hoping that's what everybody gets when they listen to it. Yeah, we go scene by scene, but we also talk about those scenes though too, as well, and we flesh those scenes out. And I think it works for what it is. But
hi, John. Welcome back. Jamie. Welcome back to the party.
Thank you. You know what? It's like I was telling everybody, it's bad that the host is late to his own show. And it's the 4-year anniversary. It's like, oh, screw it. It's 4 years. Don't worry about it.
It doesn't matter. It's only 4. I mean, come on.
It's only 4 years. And now if it was like 20 years, or something like that, I'd be like, okay, I have something to worry about. But I just do appreciate you guys being patiently waiting and everything. And
we weren't patient, mate. We were partying. Alex had the cake. Chris brought the beers. We were fine. It was all good.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Your own funeral.
But
always look on the bright side.
Exactly. But Heidi, tell everybody about your podcast, because I know you're new to the community within the space of podcasting.
Okay, I'm the podcast newbie here, so I am really new to all this. Just like he was about the editing, he started in his car. My very first podcast, I released episode 1 2 weeks ago. And honestly, when I was setting up, trying to get everything ready, the first thing I did was accidentally make an emergency phone call to 911.
Oh, wow.
Special guest, the police.
And they were like, I hung up real quick and they called me back. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I was just trying to set up my podcast. I hit the wrong button. So, that's kind of going to be a laughing joke that I had. I didn't really tell my brother who's on my podcast about it, but I started a podcast because I wrote a show that's coming out next year. It's a series. It's kind of like a cross between reality meets cinema. It's a movie versus reality kind of put in together. It's called The Color of Love. And to kind of draw a fan base to get them ready for this, I decided, why not start a podcast? I have kids, and my kids are always on YouTube. And I have a little girl who is 5 or 6 years old now. But since she was 3 years old, she'd sit in front of the mirror, and she would go, "Welcome back, everybody. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe and like my channel." So my kids, my 2 younger kids are really into YouTube, as most of the generation of young kids are. They're very electronically in tune. So I'm like, okay, let's do a podcast. I like to do stuff like that, try new things, learn new things. So I'm like, I was brainstorming and I thought, okay, this will be great. This will help me draw a fan base. It'll give people a little idea of who I am, what I'm doing. And for people like me that has been into the entertainment business for 2 years now, it gives them an opportunity to ask questions.
Yeah.
So with my first 2 episodes, I reached out to different platforms like Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, and I made a little post like, what kind of questions do you want me to ask on my podcast? What does my audience want to hear? Mm-hmm. And by doing that, it gave them the opportunity to feel a part of it, like they are help creating it. And that's cool. why I did a couple questions for my first and my second episodes that I have out right now. The first episode I let uncut, unedited. The second episode, I'm learning my editing process. So I left episode 1 unedited because I want people to see my growth.
And I think that's actually perfectly natural though too, because I remember whenever I first started out though too, I ended up introducing my show like this, and I wish I had thought about going to Instagram first, like you did, and going to people that would listen to it, because I didn't think anybody would listen to me anyways. But my first initial thought was this. I always said this: think of me as just talking to myself. And because you don't have an audience, so I always say that it's like first 4 episodes, I'm like, think of me just talking to myself and just talking about movies. And that's how I would introduce myself. My name is John from Movieloversunite, and welcome to the best damn movie news show on the planet Earth. And I'm like, why am I saying that when this is like 1 episode? So then I went on ahead and was like, you know what? More natural. I was like, just think of me as one of your friends on the drive home, talking to yourselves about movies, or me talking to you about movies on the way home. And that's how I cut every single one of my introductions after that. And
so did you picture yourself in your underwear to make you less nervous?
To be honest with you, just a little behind the scenes thing. Yeah, I do film in my underwear.
You're not wearing pants right now, are you?
Don't pretend like any of us are.
Pants on right now.
Okay, Chris, I'm going to tell you this, okay? I had this fan that said this to me one time, okay? He said, "You're not even professional. You should be more professional." I was like, dude, it's like literally 11 o'clock at night, and I'm in my underwear talking to you about movies. I'm like the least unprofessional person that you ever want to talk to right now. All of a sudden, crickets. But I like to banter. I like to have fun with my fans. I like to actually interact with my fans. And I also like to interact with my co-host, my friends, my people I network and grew into friendships and stuff like that. Jamie, I remember reaching out to you for the very first time and stuff like that. And I know you didn't know me from Adam or anything like that. I just saw you on a stream with Alex. I'm like, okay, this chick is pretty cool. She's into The Boys. She's into The Walking Dead. Heavily into The Walking Dead. You did not talk bad about The Walking Dead. But I'm like, you know what? I want to have her on because it'll be good for a conversation.
Which is quite funny because I'm pretty sure that the first stream that we did was like complete opposite. It was Cobra Kai, but okay, cool.
Right.
Definitely not dead, but
right.
Still fun time.
I hear that you have an accent. Is that British or is that Australian?
Brooklyn.
We
had this conversation already.
You know how they talk in Brooklyn.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm not even going to try and mock it. You know what? The most insulting thing I was just saying before in the green screen room was that I was called a Kiwi because I was like, I don't believe that I'm that annoying, but whatever. I'll take English because that's hot as, but I am Australian, so Aussie.
Okay. The only reason why I ask is because I have two friends. One's Australian, one was British, and their accent is very similar. Just like when people speak Spanish and some people speak Italian, there's a lot of it that's similar, but the dialect's different. But the only reason I ask is I have an underwear story. It's not my underwear, but I have an underwear story. It has to do with
I happen to have an underwear story. Let me pull that out of my back
It's
pocket.
not mine, but
So, growing up in my teen years, my father was going through a divorce the same time Davy Jones from the Monkees was going through a divorce, and they happened to live together. So during my teen years, I got to live with Davy Jones from the Monkees for 4 years here in Pennsylvania at Spruce Lawn. And I happened to be up on a weekend visiting my father, and I'm sitting in the kitchen having my breakfast, just sitting there eating my cereal and having a cup of tea. And here comes Davy Jones walking into the kitchen in nothing but a white button-up shirt that is open and a pair of skivvies. And I'm 17 years old at this time, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I look at my dad because I did not know what to do. First of all, most women will say, Heidi, you were very lucky to see a superstar in his underwear. He was 60 years old. I'm 17. That freaked me
I was
out.
about to say probably not at 17. Yeah.
But
If I get in trouble for that.
he knew I was there, but he just didn't care. He's lived his life and he was very carefree, and he treated me like his own daughter. But
Did he walk around in his underwear in front of his daughter? Is that what you're saying?
He did. He didn't care. Like, he was very free spirited, and the fact that I was sitting there, I don't know if he happened to. Maybe he just wasn't expecting me to be up as early as I was for a teenager.
Yeah.
Because he's raised 4 daughters, or 3 daughters. No, 4 daughters, all girls. That's what it is. I always forget the one because I never really got to meet the oldest one as much as I did the other 3. But yeah, so it was interesting, but that's where I got the love of my entertainment from.
So was he wearing a G-string or tighty whities?
Tighty whities.
Ooh, classic.
Davey.
Because I actually have them still. I have some of Davy's laundry that somehow got into my father's possession. My father recently passed away 2 years ago. And it's funny because I went on eBay and there's a horse head clock it's a wooden horse head clock on eBay, and it says wooden horse head clock owned by Davy Jones. It clearly has my name carved into it because I made it when I was living at his house.
Oh,
but somebody bought it thinking it was his, and it was mine.
He stole it.
But it is what it is. They can treasure that.
Oh, that's a great story.
Wow.
But okay, so another thing I wanted to mention was this. Like, I remember having Chris on too for my interview as well, because he's also an indie writer. Tamika's like, you know what? You should interview my neighbor. I'm like, who's your neighbor? Christopher Minori. I never heard of him, but I do want to talk to him. Okay. So next thing I know, Tamika gives me your info to Chris, and then I wound up doing the interview with you, and I knew right then and there I wanted to network with you even further. But
that was the biggest mistake of your life, wasn't it?
Well, you keep on breaking stuff every single time we do a show, Chris.
I don't know.
I just can't.
It's funny because everybody else here have these awesome professional sounding stories about, getting on your show. And I'm just a media whore. No bones about it. I'm just whoring myself out on your show. It gives me a chance to curse to a lot more people. So
But,
I used to live next door to Tamika.
Right.
You should have led
to,
with that, Chris.
I know.
I love Tamika.
She's awesome. She's awesome.
Oh.
She really is.
I met her
My
dad,
queen.
and he was a big reader, and so I gave him a bunch of my books, and he loved them, and I guess he told her about it, and then obviously she told John, and John quite foolishly put me on his show.
That's the coolest way to meet someone, I reckon. That's the best story out of all of us here.
Right.
I reckon that's cool.
But
Yeah.
Listen, I was so high, I don't even remember most of it, honestly.
I'm in a party
I have
guest.
no idea.
But you know what, though, Chris? Okay, so I'm going to tell you how I met Tamika, because since Tamika's not here, and it was this, to be honest with you, it wasn't for Tamika. I wouldn't have thought about, hey, let's do a 4-year anniversary. She goes, so when's your anniversary coming up? I'm like, this Saturday? She's like, you should do one. I'm like, it's too late now. People are going to be doing different things. It's 4th of July weekend. No one's going to care about doing this. So next thing you know, I start planning it. She goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm planning the party that I said I thought that people would be too busy for. She goes, you have 2 days. I said, no, I have 3 days. Because I'm counting today and the other 2 days I have to plan. So, but this is how I became friends with Tamika, though. We were in a little geek group at the time. Well, not little, but maybe had 1,000-something members in there at the time. But we left over differences with the main admin. And then her and I just became friends over the years. And we've been friends since 2010. And we just grew into a friendship. Even, here comes Josh.
Oh, here comes the man
Attaboy.
himself.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
black and white.
You do as you're told, Josh.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
see ya.
We can hear
Oh,
you.
well, see you,
What
though.
we see
Looks
is
like the
better
most
anyway, so
interesting
it's
movie
fine.
scene I've ever seen.
I know. Biggest thing going on. I'll be right. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
John, you got to invite one more person so we can have a Brady Bunch screen going on here.
Don't
And
worry,
I guess
there's going to be
Crichton
somebody
will
else
be
stopping in
Alice.
soon. But
Nice.
what I was trying to say was this, okay, with Tamika, though, we ended up becoming friends even closer during 2020. And so she's like, let me help you grow your podcast. So she starts doing all the behind the scenes stuff. And I keep on asking her, do you want to come on the podcast? She goes, no, I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of girl. I do not want to be on the forefront. Next thing you know, she goes, you know what? I want to do a top 5 video on Keanu Reeves.
Of
So
course.
we wound up doing it. So she winds up doing this during the pandemic. And then we did the Tiger King review. We did countless reviews back in 2020. And we just grew even more of a deeper friendship that just blossomed into something big. I'm very thankful for Tamika and all the work that she's done with the podcast, getting the PR stuff done, and also being on my show at the same time. That was a lot of heavy lifting and everything that she did. And also, too, she even went further out. She's like, do you have a GoFundMe page? No, you do now. I'm like, what? So she did a lot of back work for me.
I can't help but notice that she didn't like you enough to actually be on this show.
Well, to be
Just
fair,
saying.
to be
I
fair,
mean, you sound like a great relationship, but
She's
She
moved
ain't
on to
here.
great things.
It's very one-sided. Just kidding.
for me, I have a great story. For somebody, it's tomatoes, potatoes, So,
Tamika's version of that is like, oh, I had to meet this guy, John. Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. But he did let me talk about Keanu Reeves for 2 hours, so it was all right.
right? So life was good.
She's a good
But-
friend. Tamika's very good.
So were you bad
Cheers.
first?
Say that again?
Were you the bad first?
Nah. But
I don't know what's going on with the camera.
What?
I'm so sorry. I really don't know what's going on with this camera. But
It's okay.
as long as you
Just take your
can hear
time,
me.
bro. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Hello, everyone.
I'll just pretend that I'm interviewing the Mayans right now.
That's perfectly fine. Just
Yeah.
you got Lee Cardenas, JD Porter right there. So I'll just pretend to be both of them. But I might, the voices may not be exact, but it might it'll be very different and in character. So there is that.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
But Tamika did say this though too. Like she's like, man, you need to have a mental health break, because every single time I see a movie piece, I was like that meme where the guy is smoking a cigarette and having the phone. He's like, and I was like, ooh, there's a new movie scoop. I have to go ahead and talk about this on my channel. So next thing you know it, I start going live for that news report. She's like, I thought you said you were going to take a break. I'm like, I was. And then I saw the news report, and now I'm going to go punish myself. Because I couldn't get away with anything with Tamika. As soon as she saw me going live, she's like, I thought you said you had a break. I did for an hour.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But Western, we actually met up through Twitter.
That's true.
And that's actually how him and I became friends, and we started doing shows together. Was because of that, because we ended up doing that Indie Podcast Unite show, and then we went on from there. And I think that we grew even stronger as friends and stuff like that too.
Absolutely.
But, you always hit me up with news reports, even though I'm busy at work. And
so you're the reason he's not taking the break, huh? You can blame it on you,
Maybe.
We found the source, guys.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the last movie each one of you all seen?
Unfortunately, The Flash.
Actually, I have a movie on my screen. I actually forgot that John was having a thing tonight. I was watching Flight with Denzel, being drunk for most of the movie, and then John, you sent me the link, and I was like, "Oh, that's the night." Oh,
sorry, Denzel.
And I was drinking at the beginning of the movie, but as I saw the sequences go down, I just slowly put my drink down. Like it's not even an alcoholic beverage.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Good movie.
Great movie.
That's
Good
the last.
movie.
Friend actually, I'm friends with somebody that actually was an extra in it.
Oh wow,
That's cool. That's cool. I watched John Dies at the End, which is, if you haven't seen that, it's a great what? If you haven't, you got something to say, John?
John dies.
John's gonna die at the end of this show, bitch.
He's gonna die.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's super trippy and it's funny and there's horror and gore and it's really cool.
Does he die at the end?
I was about to say, is it a spoiler? Does he die?
Yeah, that's
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
John dies at the end.
Yeah, if you know the title of the movie, you don't have to go see it because you know how it ends.
Yes,
Gotcha.
who needs that John guy?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, how often we've said that. If I only had a nickel for each time.
But I know Jamie's. But I don't know if Jamie answered your question though either. I want to make sure.
Watched Elemental. I took my daughter to go see Elemental. It was the second movie that I've taken her to see in cinemas, and I was very proud of her. It was very good. I don't understand why it's copying so much hate. The ratings are so bad. Everyone hates it, and I'm like, it was beautiful. Like it was from start to finish, beautiful. I don't understand.
I think it's just a thing to
too
shit on
critical.
Disney right now.
I was just
That's
about to
what
say
I think
that.
it
Yeah.
is.
I think
Like
it's just
every
a thing
Disney
to do.
movie is getting shit, but I heard it got
Nothing
good
is
reviews.
memorable.
And
So
yeah,
I-
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
I have a side hustle. I do some reading. I do script reading with other actors who are trying to self-submit, do self-recording and self-submit. And a lot of time, if they need somebody to read for them, I do that. And I actually got to read a script that was for Danny DeVito and one for Jennifer Lopez. I can't really talk much about it, but it was an honor to be able to read for them.
Was it the mother? I'm just kidding.
It was two different scripts, but it was an honor to be able to know like what's about to come, you know.
Well, for your sake, I hope that it wasn't Shotgun Wedding because that was complete terrible.
No, something new.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
wow.
good. Hopefully, it's a bit better.
Let's
What
hope.
was it called? How to Keep Seven Assholes in Suspense? Because we all want to know what this is.
It might have
You
been.
shot me, Rose.
You know what? I think you already seen it.
Oh, I'm being cast typed again.
But Brighton, was there a movie that you've seen recently or anything?
Honestly, the what comes to mind was the Goonies. The Goonies. I for some reason I wanted to just go a trip down memory lane, and I kind of like to watch those older movies while like before I start actually shooting a movie. It kind of gets me in sync. If you will. It's like every time say it's like when somebody says they eat their favorite food. What usually why you like it is yeah, sure your taste buds, but it's something from your childhood, and that reminds you of why you enjoyed it. So that's me. I like to go back and watch those 80s movies. So Goonies was my one. I just recently got finished watching.
Can you believe Data just won an Oscar?
Mm,
Right? I mean, how
wow.
crazy is that? Like I remember
Yeah.
him watching him in Goonies, and then he
Mm-hmm.
vanished,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's winning an Oscar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But another thing too that I want to do here as well, because I'm actually doing a 30-day film challenge. So I thought this would be kind of fun to actually play out a little bit. So day one, which would be today, and I'm going to be continuing this later on. But the first film you ever saw in the cinemas, what would that be for you guys?
We just skipped Josh over that question of the last thing you watched, just saying. But anyway,
Well, he wasn't.
he's
well,
like, ask me a
is he here?
question, damn it.
I mean, I am right here. just what's
Sorry, my bad.
It's almost as if it's like he's here with us now.
I remember when Josh was here with us yesterday. He was such a good.
All right.
yes.
Spoiler, Josh dies at the
Of
end.
Yeah.
It was just
Oh my
like
God.
yesterday. I was hearing his voice over my headphones right now. I swear,
I mean-
I could hear it.
It was a serenading song of Ice and Fire.
See, I can hear it. I can hear it right now. It's coming right through. It's... But no, man.
Oh,
What,
man.
what movie did you see recently?
Recently I was actually downstairs earlier. Stop it, please. I was watching Lawless, and I hadn't watched it in a minute. I love that movie. Shia LaBeouf. With Shia LaBeouf and Tom Hardy and Jason Clarke and Guy Pearce. They had a pretty good cast in there. Jessica Chastain. It was like a different, I guess, like a 1920s kind of Western, which, you know me, love Westerns. And
Mhm.
Shia LaBeouf's performance was really, really good in it. I feel like it's a movie that's not talked about enough. But yeah, and the music, the first time I watched it, I don't think I paid attention to the music as much. But this time I was really listening, and I'm like, damn, no, this score is fire. And love the cinematography behind it and all, too. And ironically, I'm in Virginia right now visiting my aunt and uncle. So the movie also takes place in Franklin, Virginia. So I was like, oh, that's great. Perfect. Only thing is there's more developments and not as much swampland and woods. But yeah, I'm just trying to find some more of that part over there. But we had to cross some swamps when we got over here anyway. But anyway, yeah, no, Lawless. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on Netflix right now. So, or go get it on DVD because you enjoy physical media.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah,
You
it definitely is.
Far from me. I'm in the boondocks of Pennsylvania.
I mean, I live in Baltimore, but and I was just in Hershey. It's my sister. Crazy. I was just in Hershey like 2 weeks ago, and now we had a good time. We took my dad up there for Father's Day, so love PA. But yeah,
I don't. I'll be honest.
that's how I feel about Maryland. Get me out of here, please. Like
I'm planning on moving down to Atlanta, Georgia. Maybe not right in the outskirts. That's where I'm building my production company. So
Okay.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Atlanta's nice.
Place to shoot.
Atlanta's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
a lot of tax breaks for studios also. If you
Nice. That's
mentioned
good to know. Yeah, I'm planning on
Yeah.
trying a little bit and check it out around my birthday here at the end of July.
That's what's up. I was somebody was asking me, like, as an actor, where do you want to move? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't mind Atlanta. I really was like, LA has everything though, but LA has a lot going on outside right now. So I'm like, Atlanta would probably be the best bet because New York is too congested for me and it's too overpriced. So I'm like, I would definitely do Atlanta. Like a lot of states down south are getting big in the film industry, like the Carolinas,
If I could
Texas.
give you advice on that, if I could give you my best advice on that, sorry. But if I could give you my best advice, my coach is from Hollywood, California, and he even told me Hollywood isn't doing as great as it is in
It's
Atlanta. The East Coast is really, so Atlanta is where you want to be at.
Yep.
All right.
Cobra Kai, Walking
Hey,
Dead.
Taco.
Hey.
Taco?
Hi. I don't want to interrupt.
Oh,
Is it Marvel there too? That's like the other thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is the other thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
thank you,
Yeah,
Joseph. I do appreciate
thank you, Jamie
that,
Lee.
man. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, I'm camping. I have like 5 minutes. I asked my wife if I could jump on to say happy 4
Oh.
years. Dude, you're
Thanks,
4
dude.
years old, man. You're gonna drink in like 18 years or something. I'm not
Right?
doing
I
that.
can't wait to try that, man. What is it like to drink? I have no idea.
We don't
I
know,
heard-
but
I
what we
heard
do
that-
know
Me
is
neither.
that John
Jaeger
dies
might-
at the
might shit
end.
I have no
Literally
idea what it's
drinking a
like
beer.
not to drink.
Yeah, we could tell, buddy. Hi, I'm Taco. How's it going?
Always
Oh
good
man,
questions.
you do look like my alcoholic dad. I'm kidding, joking.
I didn't realize your dad was so handsome, but that's nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I mean, he's not a bad looking. That's his one good thing. He's not a bad looking dude. I don't look like him though. I don't know who I look like, but it's not him.
The
How are you guys
mailman.
doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What were we talking about besides Atlanta and Hollywood? Am I cutting out?
No, you're perfect.
I'm
To be
literally in
honest
the
with you.
middle of a camp. Really? Thanks, dude. That's a bad
What's
yourself,
funny
Jeff.
is
I'm
you're
middle of a
actually-
campsite outside of Little Falls, Minnesota. Hi.
To be honest with you, you're a lot clearer than Josh is right now.
Shut up.
You look better than Josh too.
Josh looks like two dudes wearing leather jackets.
Yeah.
Your shirt's just cool, you two guys.
Just to say, I
Okay.
could be multiple
John.
people all at once.
All right.
That's
That's a good selling
see.
point, Josh. You got
Thank
us.
you.
Let's see.
Josh,
Okay, sorry, John.
I know this is gonna go to your head. Josh, you're one of the most attractive guys I know, and it kind of stinks that I can't see you right now.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
That's
Taco,
like the nicest thing
unfortunately,
Taco's ever
You're
said,
welcome.
Josh.
Right.
it's one of the greatest things that Taco has ever said, truly. And this is why
Yeah.
Taco will be getting a visit.
So,
All
I'm gonna
right.
see Taco and bring some tacos.
hold on one sec.
Want me to let you know when my wife's out of town or something? Or?
It's okay,
Oh,
Alex. I'm glad that you're still here, though, man. But no, I was asking everybody earlier, Taco, like, what was it like me inviting you on the show, even though we thought we had some issues with reviewing the thing that one time, but we
Water under the bridge. Don't bring it up.
Right.
I'm still mad about it. Well, I think we first did stuff when you were still on Mount Schmodown, and I jumped in with you, Ben. Hey, I'm wearing my Benverse shirt. I didn't even plan that. You, Ben, and Ryan Payne. And I remember having such a good chemistry with all three of you. Everyone had a good chemistry with Ben, but Ryan Payne and my energy was like boom, 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 and you were just getting trampled. And I had to learn how to be like,
slow down a little bit.
let John talk. Yeah. But it was great because we would just ramble for 5 minutes and not make a point. Then you'd talk for 3 seconds and make a good point. So,
Right. You see, I'm doing exactly what you guys pay me to do. So there we go.
we don't
Give
pay
back.
you guys.
But that's also another thing I want to ask Josh though too. Like Josh, we've been hanging out for a while. We do a bunch of goofy things together.
True, very true. All the
Like,
time, even
give
off
me
camera.
On stream or in private?
That's going in my spank bank.
Yeah, we do a lot of goofy things together. So
No, not
Goofy.
in that kind of way.
Goofy stuff that
Gore.
AA batteries.
No,
was A-Town
Anyway.
Alex always here?
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Just a disappointed guy comes out of nowhere, like, oh my yeah.
I'm not even a part of this. I'm just here
Yeah.
to
If
teach
the-
everyone.
You're
If the
disappointed
Energizer
because you
Bunny
don't get
was
goofy
human.
things with John, do you, Alex?
Goofy.
That's what it is.
Sex stuff.
You want the AA battery
Yeah.
system. All right, next.
No.
Thank you,
Okay,
next.
but anyway, so my question was for everybody was like this. So when you came onto my show, of course I met you through Ben, and we just clicked on right away on what we wanted to do for our first review, which was doing Hustle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So-
What was that, like last June? Was that
Yeah,
June?
it was actually
Sounds about right.
Yeah, because this is around this time that we actually did our first review together.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm. No, that was a fun one. That was a fun one. Hustle was a really good choice too. Yeah, because it was fresh out, and then I think we talked for maybe like an hour, but we had so many jokes going back and forth on top of jokes from the movie itself that Adam Sandler was telling, like when he insulted his mom while they were playing basketball, just to get a rise out of. And I had a good time with it. That was a really
that
good
movie. That movie was
Yeah.
good too. I like that
Yes.
movie. Yeah, that was good.
But yeah,
It's all Taco how to hustle, apparently.
I can't play basketball to save my life. I'm
Oh.
really fat. I have a bad back.
Oh,
Can't do crap. Oh my
Call
god.
Woody Harrelson. He might
Like-
be able to help you out.
No, like the stereotype is me. Like I am a white man who can't jump. Like so. Yeah. No, if I run, it looks like I'm somebody who's like slipping on ice. Like that's how I look when I'm running.
So Ezra Miller.
Oh, get me started.
Jason, we need him. God damn it.
There you go.
Oh,
I didn't even-
Oh, fuck.
I didn't even mean to set you up for that one. That was a layup.
Thank you.
Basketball?
See, there you go. Alley-oop. Come on, man.
And he's gonna like do him for a run for the thing too, because like Taco actually did the run, and yeah, we could compare his best. That was so good, Josh. Yeah,
You inspired Ezra Miller's run. That's wow.
I because I go on insanely long bike rides. Some people claim that they ask me like start conversations like as if I'm athletic. They're like, so where do you go to the gym? What gym do you use? I'm like, what? Like, do you not see me? Like, I don't.
right.
Like, I ride bike because you can sit as you do it. Like, and I eat as I ride bike. It's like essentially like instead of watching a movie, I'm just biking. Like, but I'm just sitting and eating and scratching my belly. Like, just doing it on the go. You know? This looks
maybe
athletic.
don't lead with that, Taco.
Now we know what happened to Yogi
Say
Bear.
yes, I go to the gym.
Yep.
Sure do. I'm just really bad at it, apparently. I want my money back. That's what I'm saying.
No body shaming here.
No.
No.
You can shame
I'm
yourself. Just don't shame other people.
Shame
If I didn't
yourself.
shame myself, my 5 minutes for my comedy store act would be gone. Like that's my entire bit. Hey, she's back.
Boom, I'm back. Yeah, I'm sorry. My
No, it's
voice
okay.
fidgeted with something. Kicked
You're
myself.
sorry you're back? No, we're happy about it.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm I disappeared. My OCD was fidgeting with something and I kicked myself out.
That's not a problem. I do that
Happens.
sometimes myself, so it's perfectly fine.
Sorry guys, I OCD'd out of here.
Let's see. Brian Ruse, happy 4 years. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Joe, for the comment. I do appreciate that. 4 years in the making of doing this.
John, if I didn't say congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you, bro.
me too, John.
Appreciate
I came in
Thank
and I was
you.
like, "Thanks for hosting the party that you didn't even come to." So yeah, sorry I growled you. Love you, and yeah, happy 4 years.
Thank you, Queen. Appreciate
I love you.
You see, now you actually don't have it in a text form. Now you actually have it on video, so you can make a short out of it if you want.
No, I have it on video, but just like publicly now, people know.
This whole video is gonna get blocked now. It's gonna be gone.
No.
But I knew. Here's the thing, though. Some people ask me this, though, too. They're like, well, do you know what you wanted to do when you were first starting out with it? Did you know it was going to be this big? Did you know that you wanted what you want to do? I've been wanting to know what I wanted to do from the podcast from the very beginning. I knew I wanted to do a panel show. I knew that I wanted to interview actors, directors, be in a festival, and stuff like that. I'm living the dream that I've always wanted to do. It was just a matter of how to get there was the problem, especially with me being in Mississippi. And yes, we also talked a little bit about it with Heidi, where Hollywood used to be like the gold standard. Yeah. And now I can go down to Biloxi, which is like 30 minutes away, and people are filming in Mississippi. And it just blows my mind. Even Crichton, I can walk down, down to the street or anything because Crichton does not live here. He lives in Alabama. But I could probably show up at his house and try to do an interview, and he'll graciously, maybe not graciously invite, open the door for me. But
Yeah.
See, I don't have that thing. I live in Fargo, North Dakota. They don't even film Fargo in Fargo.
He's like, we don't like
Boo.
it here. Let's go somewhere else.
Well, the shooting is just 2 months because the rest of the other 10 months are frozen wasteland, and not the movie kind, the real kind. The film would freeze on the camera.
Real cold.
Yeah.
Well,
I like to just casually talk about how we have a couple of people who just freeze to death every winter, and people are like, haha. I'm like, no, seriously, people just freeze to death. you just die outside. It's cool. But this is gorgeous now. One of the good months. Gorgeous.
That's why I'm 100% against going outside. Stay indoors, watch movies, and play video games.
And live, Alex.
And live. Indoors won't kill you unless a murderer gets in, but otherwise you're chill.
Yeah, but where are they coming from? The frozen outdoors?
No, yeah.
Murderer just comes in like, dude, can I just get some hot chocolate? It is freezing out there.
We have another one. Yeah. Happy 4 years. Thank you, man. Thank you, Brian. And many more to come. You're going to be on my show soon, I hope. Let's see here. Joseph says, that's not cool. Taxo.
Yes, it isn't cool. What did I say wasn't cool? You got to be more specific. I'm never cool.
That was the name I was going to choose when I went to clown college, was Taxo.
Taxo.
No, that
dude, he's a sniper. He just comes out of nowhere. Oh my God, Dad, where have you been?
Taxo.
Nailing it.
Yeah. But you know what, though? It's just such an honor to be able to do stuff like this with you guys. I'm always privileged to have you guys on my show with all of us just, being able to review movies, talk about movies, Crichton disappearing on me during a talk. This is always great. It's just good. It's just good family time for me where I think of you guys more than just friends. And I don't mean to be like Vin Diesel where everybody's family. I'm going to have a Corona, but I do feel like this is family.
I'm not inviting you over for dinner.
He knows what you want now. No, Chris.
Trash anyway.
You think that that whole Fast and Furious crew has a group text that Tyrese isn't in?
Hey, can we talk about Roman real quick? He needs to chill. Anyway.
Dude, he is in this movie, dude. He is really working this part. Good job. But we have the campfire going, so I'm gonna get out of here. I promise my wife it was just gonna be a couple minutes. But I just wanted to pop in. I would have felt like a jerk if I didn't come in and say happy 4 years. Here's to as many more as you want to do, and I hope you keep growing. And I hope you keep doing what you love, and I hope you keep loving it. Man, you know how hard
Thank
it
you,
is for
man.
me to say nice stuff? I stuttered through it.
You see?
You did well, Taco. You did well.
Thank you,
neat.
Taco.
You didn't
Thank
seem
you.
like you enjoyed it.
You
Yeah,
Taco.
it was a struggle, but you did well.
Yeah, I don't think your heart was
You're
in it.
doing a
It
good
didn't look like
job, John.
At least it's on live, John. So we've like visually got
Right.
this. To
We can
remember
actually
that Taco was
make
once
Taco's
nice.
thank you statement into a short. So
I'm really
Blow up.
like,
He's deliberately zoning
being
out. Now, like,
nice.
sorry,
Ugh.
guys.
But I'm gonna go and go do stuff. So you guys have a good one. Thanks for having me on. You guys have a good rest of your show.
thank you, Taco. Thank you so much.
He had the nice RV though. I'm like, dang.
I want to go camping with Taco now.
There
Right?
goes
He
our
told me
food.
he's going camping, and it's in a
Well,
fucking camper van, not a
I
tent.
just got
Like, what
a
is this shit?
2005 Highlander and a tent. He got a whole RV.
Mm.
Yeah, no
Very
doubt.
fancy.
Taxo's
Well-
the best.
Well, you know, if
Yeah.
I wanted to say this too, John, you know, as you were saying earlier, like how you could go to other, you know, like just here on the coast and stuff about, you know, if you wanted to interview or just go right down the road. But, you know, there's something that I think that you left out of that statement previously. You don't give yourself enough credit because I can tell you from somebody who produces, makes movies and stuff like that, you are a name to not only actors but to directors and producers. That it's kind of like you know, you are along the lines of they know who you are. They know who the brand you movie lovers unite because you take that chance with people. You take that chance giving the unknown actors, you know, that's not quote Hollywood, you know, that
A-list.
thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They
Hollywood.
yeah.
That
I have a real love for Hollywood.
That's
and,
a little descriptive. None of
yeah,
us needed
so-
that image.
Nice.
You're right. So, but you, John, you do give that chance to people. And I think that I can say this statement safely that without you, there would be a lot of actors and people in the industry that wouldn't have the confidence because they were a guest of Movie Lovers Unite. So,
Thank you, man. Thank you. Because I try to give everybody a chance, like even with podcasters, anybody that's in the community headspace that likes doing entertainment stuff like Jamie or Alex or anybody else. I want to give people a chance to be able to grow just as I'm growing. And I also want to give that same chance to directors because they should have the recognition. And writers too. They have the recognition, stupid AI. But you know, I feel like that writers is the most important essential thing that you need aside from actors and directors. You need actors that are going to be able to flow the dialogue that's been written on the page and let that flow out of that person. And you don't need to have a big name star. You need to have someone that's believable enough to play the part and to be able to nail it and know that that part is for that person, to let them be and become that character and give them the chance to be that character growth. And that's something that I feel like that is missing in today's industry as well, because if you have too many cooks in the kitchen, let's say, for instance, that I want somebody to paint me a house, right? And then I go on ahead and I tell them, you know what? I don't like the way you're painting the house, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. So what's the point of
This is the weirdest metaphor I've ever heard. You know, Hollywood, it's like I'm painting a house. But I hire a guy and then I do it myself.
exactly?
I don't think that's how Hollywood works. I don't think it is.
Yeah,
Well, that's what
right.
They
the
don't
production
paint
companies
houses?
are.
What?
I don't think.
I pay someone
Hey,
to
what's
watch me
up,
paint a
man?
house.
Hey, thank you, Vernon, so much. I know you were having some trouble with the link and stuff like that I sent out, but thank you so much for being able to just do this and everything too. And Jamie, I know that you have to. You're gonna have some lunch soon, and you're gonna be inviting me. So I do appreciate that very
Yeah.
much. I'll see you in about
Do
16
you know how to
hours.
fish, John? You good?
Yeah, I know how to
You
fish.
can throw a line?
Yeah, I can throw a line. I'm throwing a bunch of lines right now at you.
They don't work though, John. Your lines don't work.
I
Anyway,
know. That's the story of my life in high school, you know.
Swing and a miss.
But Look, here's the thing. I used to go fishing all the time with my uncle up in Boston. And matter of fact, we would go up to Maine to fish. And we would camp over there. And I love fishing. I think it's the most relaxing thing to do in the woods and everything. And it's just relaxing. I love the whole entire deal where you're fishing and camping and even whitewater rafting. I love that kind of stuff too. So yeah, I definitely love that kind of stuff. So what time are we going to eat dinner?
We're going to have it in about 15 minutes. So you cool to get here by then, or?
Well,
I'll put it in the microwave. It's fine.
That sounds good. That's perfectly fine. I do appreciate it.
All right, friends. Nice meeting you all. I'll have to check out your channels too, John. Bye, Alex. Bye, Josh. And congratulations again, John.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
For 4 years.
My heart's never looked at. Bye.
I know. That's why I move it to the side. I'm like, can you see that that's like a love heart, you guys? Anyway. All right. Bye, friends.
See you later.
Bye.
See you later.
But Vernon is actually from the Is What It Is podcast. And I had him on a show. As a matter of fact, Western met him before, I think, when we did a couple of trailer reactions, I think. I'm not 100% sure. We've done a lot of stuff.
We've done a lot.
Yeah. About over 400 and something episodes. Or 600 episodes.
We're trying to go for 500 next year.
Right. But, I think that for me, if I wind up missing a show, I feel like I'm doing a disservice to the subscribers that I don't realize that I'm also impacting my own health sometimes. So it's like, if I don't do a show, I feel like I'm actually doing a disservice to the people that subscribe to me. And like, well, why hasn't he done anything? Why isn't he doing a show? Where's the next episode at? And so therefore I'm like, I need to do another episode because I need people a reason for them to subscribe and for them to be able to have conversations with me.
Yeah.
And it feels like they need me just as much as I need them. And that's why I do what I do and why I love doing what I do and stuff like that too, because I think it's important to have a community of people that love movies just as much as we do. So, but
that's how the director that I'm working with, Russell Rainey, he is a movie buff. This young gentleman grew up in movie theaters, and still to this day that is one of his big time things to do. I would love for you to converse with him one time on here. You guys could go off back to back on movie trivia.
I'm not very good at movie trivia, but I will give it a shot because I'll be honest with you, we done movie trivia shows on here and I'm like, dude, because it's totally different watching it than it is actually competing in one.
Right.
But I do enjoy it though. So that would be something that I would definitely be interested in.
Well, if you want a movie buff, that's one person that you definitely could reach out to. I'll tell you what, he gave me homework assignments before I even do my show that I'm coming out with. My homework assignment is he's make me watch all the Marvel movies.
That would be fun. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get my wife to do all the Marvel movies, but she's only selective at certain ones right now. But that is a huge catalog to climb through.
It's easy. You'll fly right through it. There's no issue.
I like how you're like chill. They're like, you know what? It'll be easy. Piece of cake.
If you're dedicated, you can get it done in a weekend. It's no problem. No, that's
you can do it, John.
You can do it. But
is anyone on this panel a Luke Cage fan?
Yeah,
I loved Luke Cage.
Like the comics, not so much
up until, well, I love him in the comics, but the TV show, I loved it until the season finale of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I was just like, they ruined it.
I felt like it was like anticlimactic for the season finale of season 1 because all that lead up, it led to like, they're fighting in a barbershop. Okay. Yeah. And then it was, to me, honest with you, I wasn't like on the edge of my seat like I was during his origin story or during the other stuff within the first season. And I wanted to be excited for that, but it was like, I don't want to see anymore. I was like very anticlimactic. I even tried watching the second season, going into it with more of an open mind, and it was just too much of the fact that he wanted to be like a reality superstar type of thing on the streets with the drone, and it just felt like they were trying to reach for something that I wasn't sure what they were trying to reach for. That's just me and the way I looked at it at that time.
I was really into it in the beginning, but like you guys said, I feel like it just really declined. It lost its audience. I think it really took a dive there. What's your guys' thoughts on She-Hulk?
Okay, I love She-Hulk. That was fucking great.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a big
Who
Marvel
said they
person,
hated
so I'm just
it?
like,
Who said that
I did.
bullshit?
Right here. I disliked it a lot. No,
Oh, man, I love it.
no.
But I like the comics.
Disrespect
right?
towards
Like,
Luke Cage will not be tolerated.
I'm a huge Howard the Duck fan, right? And so in the comics, She-Hulk is Howard's attorney. So I thought it was great. I thought it got a little meta, I think, in the last couple episodes, but otherwise it was I thought they did a great job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed it too. It was just like the issue with they've been having with their shows, at least for me, is they don't really have a story that there wasn't really a story for it to focus on. It was just random things. I honestly would have loved She-Hulk even more if it was strictly like her being a superhero lawyer, and like that was the whole series. Like I was down for that. Like, ooh, a comedy court show, cool. But
Right.
you know, they did what they had. They did what they did, and you know, but I loved it personally. I loved it.
see, I liked everything within She-Hulk, all except the side story plots and stuff like that. I thought that the storyline just for She-Hulk alone was good. It was just the side story of her friend and everything else that they tried to do with it wasn't for me. But I also didn't like pulling the curtain type of look at the very season finale of it. It felt that also made me feel like it was anticlimactic for me, because I was expecting a big lead up to a big villain, and then they go on ahead, they do this bit like an SNL kind of skit. And for me, that's why it falls flat for me. But as far as this journey with She-Hulk and stuff like that, I liked. It's just the side stories that I didn't care for that much.
Yeah.
And Josh says She-Hulk left me
Flabbergasted.
With the stench of his horrid nature,
That's the best review I've ever heard.
Cover.
That is so awesome.
Flabbergasted.
First hat from the episode.
Lamau.
Lamau. Where's the real?
I really wanted to like it. I really did. I just it lost me very, very quickly, and then like who was the villain? Titania, supposedly.
One of them,
she was.
yeah.
Yeah, it just was.
I don't really know that there was like one set villain, right? It really was kind of like a sitcom, really.
Yeah. And that's exactly how they pitch it as a sitcom. It's just that the way that the season finale ended for me, I was like, okay, I watched all this and I got nothing.
Yeah, like honestly, I was kind of hoping
villain was
that
Marvel.
it wasn't villain was I guess basically might as well say the villain was Marvel. I was hoping.
Point.
I mean, like I like the creativity of it being a sitcom. Oh, what's up? Oh no, you got it. Go ahead. Yeah.
What are you at work, man?
No. I'm at my uncle's house. Uncle, say hello.
Hey, all right, how y'all doing?
Hey.
All right.
He's about to watch a boxing match while we're here. So if you hear combat, I've always been a fan of his work. He's a fan of your work, sir.
Oh.
I'm a fan of your work though too, Josh. You do a fantastic job with the monologues.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Chris. I appreciate you, sir.
Oh, thank you, man. I love being hanging out with you.
No, for sure. And we gotta, I'm keeping your secret, so I'm not saying anything. But we're here.
We'll talk about that.
So you have that funny thing going on, huh?
Yeah, we got that funny thing going on. You know what I mean?
Some goofy things going on.
You know what I'm talking about? We got this little thing going on. You know?
Don't judge us. That's legal in the U.S. now.
Oh,
hey, it's not legal until you get caught. You know, I
For
used to.
now.
I ended up picking up a 16-inch flat screen TV. It fell off the truck.
I was hoping that you were going to finish that with flat screen TV. I was very concerned for him.
It was not a dick.
It was not a.
It was a TV, not a dick.
And I got fireworks popping. Okay.
Me too, John.
But no, forget about it.
Y'all are insane.
Hey, this is the stuff that you and I used to do all the time on here. And then I was like, you're trying to
This
play
is
cool.
true.
Like, you guys are insane. I don't even know what we're doing over here.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You know, we used to go way back, you know?
Way back, to the mother country,
You know, I used to go out to the look. I used to go down to the Vine, and I used to go, and what I used to do was I go on ahead. I end up taking some olives, and then I put it in between my feet, and I try to make some wine.
What?
With olives.
With olives?
I'm very bad Italian.
Wait.
I don't think that's the right way to do it.
No, I did not get make wine for dummies, Italian edition.
Oh my god!
Put some olives on your feet. It'll do the trick.
Wine for dummies with James Gandolfini.
I would like to see that though. What the fuck did I tell you? I told you not to be coming over here with with your hat on.
Putting olives on your feet.
Hey,
Imagine that.
Ollie, come over here. Look at what he's doing. Look what he's doing over here. He's over here. He got the olive in between his feet. He's acting like that. He knows what he's doing, but he doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean?
If you watch somebody press olives between their toes, would you watch?
There probably is an audience for that, you know?
Yeah,
like I was telling John 6 months ago. We might want some extra money on the internet
and press
Call it the olive crusher. Only
press olives with our toes.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's weird, but if it pays the bills, I'm not gonna hate on it.
But then you open up the venue to do like WWE for feet and olives.
Hey,
you have wrestling in the olives after that.
There you go.
Hey, the more money I'm getting paid to press olives against my toes, the less shame I'm gonna feel about it. You know?
And then you hire Heidi as a commentator. They see there it is.
Go.
You got it.
There we go.
We're at the Olive Crushers tournament.
This is a movie channel, but we like to talk about pressing olives with our toes, and
we're all foot fetishists.
There's a niche. There's an audience for that.
There's an audience.
There's also fans only.
It was all quiet on the Western Front. You know what they say about the war movies?
You know what they say about the war movies?
What were you saying, Heidi?
I said, could you imagine if you got those olives stuck on your toes?
Oh,
Quentin Tarantino would be all over it.
You know how little kids,
jeez,
kids always put the black on their fingers and like clickety clack. I couldn't even imagine in between
with toes, doing that with toes.
Directed by Tarantino.
Am I the only one getting really hungry right now?
This is what happens when you have an attack.
All this olive talk. I don't know if it's the olives or the thought of your toes, John. Something's getting me ravenous.
But yeah,
there's some epic things happening in that chat over there.
Just evolved. Okay.
Anyway,
I mean,
movies.
I'm sure there's people out there that would buy feet pics with olives on them.
Absolutely is. If I go on the internet right now and be like, "Hey, I got olive feet pics, $20 a piece."
$20. I'll send you 40.
Oh, see, look, there we go. Already got one. That's income. I live in California. It's expensive. You got to do what you got to do to survive out here.
Got to pay that rent out in Cap.
There are somebody please pull up what is going on in this chat here. These comments
we have some good comments going on over here.
Oh Lord.
So the Midnight Cinema,
which is me,
says All those on the Western Front. All toes
You
on
know
the
what
Western
they
Front.
say about those horror movies with toes in them.
Then we have another one. There's something about Olive. Are we Olive yet?
Are we Olive yet with Ice Cube?
Dawn of the Planet of the
The
Olives.
Planet of the Olives.
Then we have my comment from me. No olives
No
for old
olives
men.
for old men.
That's amazing.
The Court of
Court
Olives.
of Olives.
That's a good one.
See? Just puns with olive. Movie titles with olives. It works out. The Land
Before Olives.
Rare olives.
Oh, that one's my
Rear
favorite.
The Olives and the Spicy Shack Olives.
I saw that one on Pornhub. Rare olives, man.
Saving Private Olives.
That was good.
Okay, so Olive being here, I'm glad that you Olive being here. I love you having being here.
Olive love being here.
But okay, so is there anything else as far as you guys wanting to talk about as far as how my podcast got started or anything like that too, or the name or anything? I was just wondering.
I have a favorite podcast memory from Movie Lovers Unite.
Okay.
We talking about like how can we bring extra money into the channel, and we came up with a brilliant idea that I'm still waiting for us to like start on. Like, I need you to send me the picture so I can get the ball rolling. A calendar, swimsuit calendar. You know, kind of like how the fire department would do. So I think if we just start our own modeling calendar.
That's a good idea. You want to be Mr.
$5.
February or Mr. December?
There we go. So I need at least 6 different poses of you.
Okay.
If you got a swimming pool, get in front of it.
You know what? I can hop over my neighbor's fence right now because they're renting the house across the street, and I'll just go in and check their swimming pool for a few minutes.
But that was one of my favorite memories. We were just cracking up about that. It was just like, I don't even know what started the conversation. We were just like, yeah, swimsuit calendar, let's do it.
I remember that too. We were just brainstorming on different ideas and just coming up with like a bunch of nonsense, which is something that
wait, is this live? Ugh.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite memory. So
what about for you guys? What was some of your favorite moments?
The Pinocchio review.
Yeah, the Pinocchio review was hands down one of my favorite ones that we've done.
Yeah, that was a good one. Especially when we talked about how they took the clip when they took Mussolini out the car and they pick him up and he's just like this bean-shaped guy. He's only been so tall. And it's just like, here's the show for the worst man alive. And he's just like this big. It's like Lord Farquaad's height. It's amazing. It's the greatest thing.
And I also liked how you put it, even whenever he got ran over, Pinocchio was still lying.
Yeah, like how you keep dying and you're still lying. That's what it was. So
you're lying
okay,
even when you're dying.
You're lying even when you're dying, and then I tied it to the Batman because that was one of the riddles. It was like the first riddle, like what does a liar do when he's dead? He lies still. So technically, Pinocchio was lying still because he lied as he was dead lying still. There he is. There's your bar for the day, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
Message.
I love, like, the first time I was on your show, and I think at the time you were being sponsored by some bush shaving company.
Manscaped.
Yeah.
Bush shaving.
And this is serious. And he didn't tell me he was doing it. He's like, okay, Chris, we got to take a break real quick. And then he's like, so Chris, do you have problems when you manscape? Man, I couldn't stop laughing, and then I couldn't shut up, and I kept making dick jokes, and it was kind of embarrassing. I knew I was going to love being on this show. Oh yeah, I these days it's like I need a lawnmower down there, right? I'm 57 now, man. I got hair growing out of everything.
You see, it's like a jungle down there.
That shut down the room, didn't
it? But I love doing those reactions with people because they didn't know what to expect from me when we had the sponsorship for Manscaped. I would do it with every single guest just to see what they would do. Like,
that was the best.
I even did like a whole monologue with American Psycho, with the main character from my American Psycho, and me doing the monologue, but changing up the monologue to where it's that where it's Bateman doing a manscape for this morning ritual.
Oh,
But
that was fun. That was fun.
Thanks. I'm glad that you like that bit. I'm trying to get them back again, so hopefully I can.
Please do. We got to do some more fun bits.
You need to get a sponsorship with that unicorn that shits out ice cream. That's what a potty. What is that? That potty thing. Nobody else knows this commercial. Are you shitting me?
Oh, they isn't it like isn't it a toilet training thing?
No, it's something to like a stool that you sit and it puts you in a better position.
Potty.
But yeah, that's it. The great thing is this unicorn shits into an ice cream cone in multiple colors, and then the prince takes it and starts eating it.
Wow.
You got to get them. You know what? I'll just shut up now.
I do have a squatty potty. I can confirm that stuff works.
The unicorn did his job.
That's not a bad idea.
It did its job. It's a good little product, if I do say so myself. A happy customer.
But Western, what would be some of the other memories that you had?
Oh man, our Oscar prediction stream that had a lot of gold. Starting with you trying to pronounce Ke Huy Quan's name.
Yeah, I butchered that name. Like really, worse than John Travolta did.
And My Year of Dicks being nominated. That was a whole other.
You're like, wait, is this a real movie? I said, yeah, that's a real movie. My Year of Dicks is a
My Year of
movie.
Dicks.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
a
other one
movie.
with the long title that was nominated too. And Oscars told me the world was fake. That was crazy too.
I'm actually surprised I didn't get that screener because I usually got like a bunch of short film screeners, and that was not one of them that I got.
You must have not had a Year of Dicks then.
Nope, I missed out on that.
You missed out on the dick.
But okay, what about for you, Crichton?
I would have to say the favorite one that I had something to deal with is the interview you gave with me and actress Carolyn Fortin, because that was her first like 101 long interview about her doing acting, right? And she's such a sweet person in general, just a very nice, just one of those people that you want to hang out with, you know what I mean? Like very kind-hearted, and just the way you handled that interview, it was almost like a poetry, watching poetry go. I mean, for real, it was just that smooth, that natural way of it, and so I tip my hat to you, John, for doing such a great interview. But just seeing the interaction between you and that guest, you could just tell that y'all was in sync. So to me, that was my all-time. That's hard to top favorite moment.
Thank you, man. I do appreciate that, because I was even telling Rossie this when we were doing our interview with Michael Oblowitz, who directed the new Mel Gibson movie, that we ended up interviewing him. But we're going to be having him back on the show again soon because I got a screener for his film finally. But what I was telling her was I used to be where I would write down questions and send them out to people, and that's something that we talked about just a few minutes ago. But then I decided to just go in and freestyle it, right? Because I've been doing it for so long. So if I catch something, I pull a Howard Stern, basically. Because then I'll go on ahead and I'll say, hold on. Let's talk about that for a minute. Roll back for a second. So you mean to tell me, and this is just me, you got off the boat in the United States for the very first time and you got a job? Let's talk more about that. And then that guest will go on ahead and talk about that for a few minutes. Okay, then we jump on to something else, and then that guest tells me something else, and I was like, okay, hold on, let's talk about that. So
right.
I basically learned a pattern to where I don't have to do the basic Q&A kind of stuff anymore and let it be more authentic. And that's something that I wanted to try and break away from because I don't want my show to be scripted. I want it to be 100% authentic. And that's something that I try to do. Of course, Chris can even vouch for that because we go off the rails on some of the stuff that we talk about too.
One or two.
Between the movie news, the movie news segment though made me laugh though when we did the actress's name and you said, "Who the fuck is that?"
That was awesome. That's a terrible name. I don't remember what her name was, but it was an awful name, and it
was Dickie something. I forgot the name, but yeah. And then there was also another time where I had to leave the stream because of the fact that the weather was bad, and you had to host.
I hosted your show, but I didn't really I was trying to host it. I didn't really know if I was actually live or not, and so I would start talking, and then I'd just sit there and wait a little bit, and then I'd start talking maybe I just kept saying I don't know if I'm live. I have no idea. It's got to be your most bizarre show.
Well, to be honest with you, I went through the editing thing, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I went
pretty much like most days.
Right, you're like, you said this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and John's not here. So yeah. So about The Shining, it really sucked. But I was like, I'm definitely gonna keep this just for a bit if I ever want to do a bit with it.
For
but
blackmail.
Yeah. But you had a question though, Heidi?
Yes. Okay. Gotta come back here. Oh.
Introducing Go Try Geek Plus, the first plan that always gives new and existing customers the same great device deals.
What in God's name is that?
Man, David Attenborough is going crazy in the back.
No, it's Ben Barnes doing his T-Mobile commercial.
Oh, okay.
There's a heavyweight boxing match that's taking place. It's funny. I'm streaming, watching a boxing match, and doing homework at the same time.
That sounds like my ADD.
This is literally what you have taught me, John, with YouTube. Doing all of these things. I feel like I have two extra arms. I mean, you kind of played a role in it.
See, I get blamed for your failure. Okay, I gotcha. I'm glad to partake in your failure when you fail your class.
Accept the fact that you are a Jedi, sir.
I am a very bad Jedi.
So what would a good Jedi tell me right now?
That you need to do your schoolwork.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
What's up?
Well, John, I was going to tell you, I'm going to get off of here for a little. Okay. And thank you for having me. Happy 4 years. In 18 years, you'll be old enough to drink with, so we'll all have a drink in 18 years, But thank you for having me, and happy 4 years and many, many more moons and many more podcasts where many lovers unite. I hope that you just have an infinite more.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for being on here with me. I do appreciate it. Crichton. Good luck on your next upcoming movie. I can't wait to see what you have next coming out.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Welcome. All right, y'all. Thank you for having me, y'all. It was good seeing y'all and hanging out.
Good meeting you,
all
man.
Right.
Nice meeting you too.
Man, that guy really liked you, dude. Like the rest of us, when we sign off, we're like, all right, we're out of here.
Yeah,
Fuck
man.
Off,
you see, you guys need to be more like Crichton. But anyways, Heidi, I know that you said you had a question, right?
Yes, I did have a question. I was in the middle of typing it in chat, and I again disappeared because I'm the newbie.
Nah, you're fine.
But we were talking. You guys were talking about butchering names and stuff like that, and I think it was Chris where you were talking about you didn't know the actress's name.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody had like a name that's when somebody introduced them to you themselves to you and they said their name that really thrown you off? Like, who named you that?
There was a couple of interviews that I've done where I'm like, okay, where did that originate from? Like, I'll interview people from India. That was actually my first big interview that I did in my car, was from India. And she's she's actually a great blogger, great movie reviewer, and stuff like that. And she supported me very well. But yeah, there was a couple of names, and I forgot some of them now because the list just is piled up over the times and years. But I remember having one. Wait, there is one name that I keep on forgetting because the guy's name sounds like something that would be a first name and not a last name.
Ricky Bobby.
So no, his name is Tillman Brock. So So basically, I would say hello, movie lovers. This is and I have Brock Tillman with me, and
Brock Tillman.
He's like, and he had to keep on telling me it is Tillman Brock. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm used to. Here's the thing. In Mississippi, I know some Tillmans. So the Tillmans is like a last name, not a first name. So I'm going based off of that, not someone that's overseas. That's an indie director. And I'm like, I am so sorry, man. I did not mean to do that. But yeah, I had a hard time with trying to reverse that and try to go and basically just try to course direct myself. And thankfully, he still supports me.
Yeah.
Who watches this show?
I have a 24-year-old daughter. She doesn't live with me now, but a couple years back, she lived with me, and we had gotten new neighbors, and they were Mennonites. And the one, she came to introduce herself. And my daughter and I were outside, and she's like, "Hi, my name is Dorcas." And my daughter instantly goes, "Who the fuck named you that?"
Wow.
Valid question.
Sounds like an awesome kid.
And the sweet lady, she's a sweet, awesome lady. Like, she's one of the best neighbors I've ever had. And she just kind of giggled and she says, "Oh, my mother." But she rolled right with the punches, They're very, very conservative people. But I guess that response that she kind of gets a lot with having a name like Dorcas.
Right. That would actually throw me off, though, too.
Dorcas.
So
I
what's your name?
have an aunt that hates the name Jean. We said to her, "Why do you hate the name Jean so much?" And she's like, "Because if my name was Jean and people said hello to me and was like, 'Hi, Jean,' I'd feel like they were talking about me being dirty." Or reminding her. So I don't know. Like, names are funny.
They are. They definitely are. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'll end up, before I even get a guest, before we go live, I'm like, "Look, how do I say your name so that way I don't butcher it live?" And everything. And then they go on in and tell me. So that's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing what I did on our Oscar predictions and just staggering through it. How did I say that? Go ahead.
Yeah,
I was like, K, Kwan. Anyways, he's nominated.
He's nominated.
Don't feel too bad. I
have an Italian name, and my E's pronounced an I, and the I's pronounced an E, and I'm like, who the fuck can put them together? Like, if it's pronounced an I, like, shouldn't it be where the I is? But
right.
And then I asked my dad about it one time, and he's like, "Well, our name used to have a silent G in it."
Yeah, I used to not be able to pronounce Key's name that well either. It would always be like Key Hui, Key Hui, Huey, Key Hui. It would always just be that, just Hui, be the only thing that I couldn't get. Just eventually, yeah.
But Heidi, I just want to say this: meeting Chris for the first time and stuff like that, doing the interview. Not you, Chris. Different Chris.
I thought you were gonna throw more shade on me.
My brother Chris?
Yeah, your brother Chris. When I first met him and everything, I wanted to know what he thought of the channel and the podcast and stuff like that, because it meant so much to me that you guys reached out to me on tips on how to do the podcast and stuff like that too. And I never pictured myself as someone that would give advice or anything like that. And just for him to say, "Hey, look, try him out. I think he might be able to help you."
actually, he came to me and he's like, I met this amazing person. He's like, he's perfect. He does podcasting. He knows how to do it. Like, he just spoke highly of you. And I guess I don't know really like how y'all met, but
I
he's
met him
my
through Nick.
okay. Well, he's my brother. We've been in the entertainment business for quite a while. The acting part. I started out as modeling and then I went to some acting and voice acting. Then I became a writer and co-producer, and I'm just kind of building my little persona here. But Chris, I always call him, I'm the older one, okay? He's the younger one, but you would never know. I'm actually 43. So, well, I'm turning 43 here at the end of the month. But I always call him the dramatic one because he's funny when you talk to him and ask him random questions, and especially when I pick on him because I'm a sibling. We're going to pick no matter how old we are. And just his facial expressions, they really get you sometime. But no, actually, he really spoke highly of you. He's like, I know you're new to this, sis, but this guy has been in it for a while. He's like, anything you need to know, ask him. So I'm like, okay, well, connect us, network, like
Thank
reach
you.
out. And it was
But
an honor. And when you said, can I come on the 4-year anniversary? I'm like, it is such an honor to be able to be asked to be a part of this, and I
you're welcome.
appreciate the opportunity. And I love to network, and it's great to meet other people. You guys are all great to sit here and converse with and have a good time. And like you said, when you have a podcast that you can communicate and just have that natural flow and connection with people, that's what people want to see. They want
Exactly.
to the authenticity. I can't even say it right now.
Authenticity.
But yeah, like they want to see the real deal. They don't want to see script. If they did, they'd sit there and watch Netflix and chill.
Exactly. Oh,
Yep.
sorry, computer died, and love being on here. Congratulations for 4 years. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you for everything you do for the channel. Matter of fact, he just did Craven the Hunter, who is Craven the Hunter bio video for me on the channel. Check that out. Alex does such a fantastic job on his channel at A-Town Reviews, so go on ahead and check out his channel. But I think that I'm going to try and wrap this up now, but I just want to say this. Thank you to everyone that came out onto the podcast, onto the channel, and just had a conversation about what it was like to be on there and how you guys value me. It just means so much to me to be able to do this and have the headspace that I'm in now, and to do this. I never thought that it would go this far. I remember, this is going to be a short but sweet story, but I remember I was just eating a roast beef sandwich at work, and all of a sudden I get a text from a Netflix publicist wanting me to do a promotional thing for the new Netflix movie. And next thing I know I wound up building a connection with her. And then she winds up leaving, but she winds up saying, have you ever thought about doing short film reviews? I said, no, I haven't. Next thing I know, I'm in the Holy Shorts Film Festival, where they actually select short films to be nominated for Academy Awards. And now I have directors coming to me. And I never thought in a million years that that would actually happen. And especially whenever at that time I was only at like 100 or 200 subscribers. I thought I would actually get that at 1,000, not whenever I have less. And I thought people would just shun me away, but no. It just amazes me and mind-blowing, and it just means so much to me that people actually came here tonight just to talk about their moments with me, just to talk about this. It means so much to me, and I can't wait to do more stuff with you guys. And thank you, Josh, for coming on as well. I know it was hard for you to come on during this. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I just want to say real quick too, John. I met Ben first when I started my YouTube journey, and I didn't meet you not too long. I met you not too long after I met Ben. I think Ben actually introduced me to you, and in all actuality, John, everything, you've been a great advisor, a great friend, through all of this. Everything that you've learned, that you've been able to share with me, has helped me improve. Like I'm slowly growing, but it's part of the process. I'm fine with it. But it's just awesome how, what Heidi was saying earlier about networking and the importance of it, and then how that just I carry that over when I'm acting too, or when I'm in at work, or just being able to meet different people and learn from so many different people is so important. And meeting you, John, is one of the best things that has happened to me in the last few years, man. So I appreciate you as a friend. I appreciate you as a fellow YouTuber in the space, and I wish you much success, man. So
Thank you.
just keep
Same
going,
for
man.
you.
Keep rocking, yeah, for
I
sure,
will.
man.
All right. With that being said, that's going to be it as far as our show goes. Heidi, we will try and do something. I want us to be able to do a movie review or something together. I want to get you out there a lot more.
Thank
So
you.
you're very welcome.
And I'd also like to have, as I'm building my podcast, I would love to have each and every one of you come on, on one of my podcasts too, to kind of help grow it a little bit as I'm trying to progress. So it'd be nice to have
Media whore. I'm there.
As a matter of fact, that's going to be his
Author
new
is
nickname.
there.
It's not going to be Chris Minori author. It's going to be Attention Whore author.
Because he has it like he's listening to a quote.
From writer to writer, we could sit on one of the podcasts and we could sit and talk about that. And, I'll introduce you as the media whore.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. It's my official title. I put it on my latest children's book.
Matter of fact, I'll make a T-shirt with your face on it.
If you
I
guys
would buy that shirt.
love the feedback, my podcast is called The Color of Love Sibling Rivalry. It has two actors that play my brothers. One really is, and the other one is an actor, but we've grown as a family. And we're sitting there doing some Q&As for the first 2 episodes. We're going to do a little bit more fun things and as we progress. But, like John said, I am a newbie to this, and I'm usually the one that is on camera, not really doing the one, being the one asking all the questions. And it's just a new step for me. Kind of just, expanding. But, it would be great to literally sit there and be able to converse with all of you guys. So check it out. Color of Love. Sibling Rivalry on YouTube. You'll see a cartoon picture of me with a little fedora. And go ahead and give me feedback, things that you think I could do better, or, questions that you might want to hear, anything like that. I'd appreciate.
Yeah,
sounds
good.
So with that being said, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you for everybody in the comment section. Thank you for showing up and just being awesome guests as well. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Taco. Thank you, Vernon. I know that you were going to try and be here and you couldn't because of some tech problems within the link itself. So thank you for trying. Thank you to Jason Pitts, indie director, for just allowing me to do a reaction to your Friday the 13th fan-made movie and being able to just do a whole entire segment just on that. So I do appreciate that so much. And, you guys are just awesome. Keep on doing what you guys are doing. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And we'll see you again whenever I get a chance to drink. So with that being said, have a great and safe night, and we'll catch you on the next one.